Hi, I'm Nicole with Realty Masters, and I'm here today to give you some tips on house hunting in a rental shortage. So I've mentioned there are about 265 active rentals in the Pensacola area, and I wanted to break that down for you. By county, that's about 66 in Santa Rosa County. That's Milton, Pace, Gulf Breeze, Navarre. That does include 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom properties that are available on the single market for rent. When you break that down even further, only about 55%, a little over half, are pet friendly. We do notice that closer to 70% of renters have pets. So this is going to be even harder for those of you with dogs and cats and other animals. We're seeing renters with 2, 3, 4 pets. That's really hard to get approved in a market like today's. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have extra pet deposits, photos of your pet, information from the vet to provide to the landlord. Of those, only about half are 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and about 49 of those are 4 or 5 bedrooms. So a lot of strain in that area. Additionally, there's a lot of strain in the Section 8 housing. Because of the situation with the housing market, less landlords are taking the voucher, and we are seeing a huge decrease in availability of Section 8 rentals. We do recommend reaching out to the housing office for additional information on how to find a Section 8 rental and to look at the apartment complexes in town, as many of them are accepting the Section 8 voucher. We're recommending that you do good research and that you're prepared. So have all of your documents that you need to rent a house. Look over criteria. Do you meet the criteria? Do you have credit issues? And if you do, that's going to be even harder for you to find a property. We recommend having a double security deposit. That's going to really help ease the landlord's mind. We also recommend that you have your pay stubs ready, a job offer letter if you're getting a new position, have your photos of pets, your driver's license, your landlord's information. Be ready. Come to an appointment prepared to apply. If you find the house you love, you get the appointment to see it, you go in and you're still not ready to apply, you could lose that property. We're having 2 to 3 people inquire about each property every day, and so the application process is even more important. We need you to act fast when you get qualified, or you will miss out on the property. So get it together, be serious and intentional about house hunting and finding a property. And the cost of homeownership will continue to increase. If you cannot find your dream home in the rental market, check out the sales market. See if you can get qualified for a mortgage. Now, we have incentive programs for our renters where we offer cash back at closing. So if you rent from us now, reach out to one of our sales agents. Let us talk to you about the option. Another option is to look in the apartment community. There are some new apartment complexes in town that is causing some openings in other apartments. And maybe you've been a single family home dweller, but for now, a year in an apartment is going to be more comfortable than crashing with your family or renting a property in a location that you don't feel comfortable in. One of the challenges in a fast-moving market is knowing the location, the area. We recommend doing a lot of research, and there are tools available for you on our website. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office is a great crime prevention map that shows real-time crime feeds in different locations. So get a list, plug them in the website, do the sex offense search, drive by during the daytime, and then drive by again at nighttime and see how you feel. I had an owner who parked in front of a property for 3 hours one night before he bought the property to make sure that that's the kind of neighborhood that he wanted to live in. There are things that you can do to research on your end, and we recommend doing those and carving out some time to do that research. The more you know, the better able you are going to be to find a property that works for your family. Keep in mind that the more that you pull your credit, the lower your score goes. So if you're out applying, you're going to lose application fees, you're going to lose rating on your credit, and that does not bounce back immediately. That takes a few months. So again, it's important to be prepared and ready when a property comes on the market to have all of your documentation and to be sure that that's the property that you want to apply for before applying for a property. Sometimes people get in panic mode and start applying everywhere. We do not recommend that. Be intentional about the process and be strategic. If you're relocating to the area, you're going to have an increasingly hard time locating a property. In years past, people would just bring U-Hauls. They would come to the office and say, I need to rent a place today, and we had inventory. We do not now. If you do that, you're going to be in an extended stay hotel and renting a property that you're ultimately not satisfied with. So we do recommend renting something sight unseen if that is your only option. We would love to show the property to a friend or family member or colleague. So if you have anybody on your behalf that can view the property, that is best case scenario, and help them help you find a property that is going to be so crucial and beneficial in your house hunt, especially if you're relocating. Another thing is to be available for showings. We know we all work, but so do the residents, and so do we. So realtors are not available on Sundays to show rentals, nor are the families who currently live in the properties. So if there is a showing time offered for you, make it work. If you can only show properties or see properties after 5 or on the weekends, you're going to be missing out on good properties. So it's important to carve out some time to dedicate to house hunting so you can be successful. One thing we recommend is having a backup plan, a place to go in case you're not able to find a property, be it crashing with a friend or family member. Just make sure you have a backup plan in case your situation falls through and you cannot locate a property. At this point, it's important to adjust your expectations of what is out there and what criteria you have in a rental property. We are not going to be able to find your dream house this summer. It is not going to happen tomorrow. So it's more about finding a nice, safe place for your family, for you, and that requires adjusting your criteria. When you break down the numbers in the MLS, when I'm doing searches for people, they say, okay, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The number drops to 150. It's got to be in Pensacola. The number drops down to 97. Then they say it's got to be under $1,200 a month and in the Tate High School district. That search pulls up 3 results. So the more criteria that you have, especially in regards to location and price, the harder it's going to be to find something. As we said, the average home sales price right now is about $225,000. Housing prices are increasing. Nationally, we know that housing accounts for over 1/3 of income. We know it's a big expense and that you want a nice place to live. But at this point, if it's got carpet that's not new or a stove that's older, those are things that can be easily overlooked. That if you're in a property right now and it's not perfect and they're raising your rent $15, $25, that not be a reason that you move. Before you put notice in to vacate, we recommend looking and starting your house hunt, as we've had renters that did not find a place and had to move in very dire circumstances. Know before you get upset about a small rental increase or the back threshold on the door that's never been fixed, that these items are something that you can live with and that can be corrected, and that it's a better case scenario than moving out and being unable to find a property to rent. You know, sometimes we've got to be grateful for what we have, and we forget that at times. And I think now is one of those times to remember that. If you're fine where you are, stay there, because there's not enough places for people to rent. One of my favorite tips that Becca in our office gave was to just show up at the rental office. If you see properties that you're interested in with a certain company, we're getting hundreds of emails and phone calls a day. If you show up to our office, we're going to give you a list. We're going to tell you the information. We're going to give you an application. You're going to be able to register to view properties. We're going to put you on our preferred customer list. So it is better not to wait for phone calls and emails, to be proactive and get up, get out there, take some time off. The bottom line is some of us don't have the luxury of deciding to wait to move and need to move immediately. So you've got to be proactive, you've got to be prepared, you've got to do your research, and you've got to spend some serious time dedicated to finding a property. If you're trying to do this 10 minutes at night each night, you're not going to be successful and you're not going to find a good property, or you're going to continue to miss out on properties and be stressed out. Be happy with your outdated countertops, be happy with your cheap rent, take it and do what you can to make the place yours, to enjoy it, to love it, and to look past the four walls that you live in and to make your own home. And that's what it's all about, is the family and the people inside the home, not what the home looks like. This is an HGTV, but the bottom line is, if you do your research, you do your due diligence, and you work hard and stay positive, you're going to find a nice place to live. When you do find that property that you like, act fast, don't delay, don't think about it and look for other options. We just don't have that luxury right now. I would recommend applying and being ready to sign a lease and pay a deposit when you apply. That is going to yield the best result of success for you this house hunting season.